Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. charging. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. System scan complete. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Module repaired. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Warning, temperature critical. Heat sink deployed. Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping. System scan complete. Fuel scooping complete.
The Thyroids. Human Thyroid contact. The Thyroids are a non-human race with a history of hostility towards humanity. The first recorded encounter with a Thyroid ship took place in 2840.
Frameshift drive charging.
Although earlier, undocumented encounters are believed to have taken place. In the years that followed, contact with lone Thyroid vessels was intermittently reported. Humanity clashed with the Thyroids in the 32nd century, but details of the conflict remained scarce for many years, and it proved difficult to differentiate authentic accounts of Thyroid encounters from the sensationalist media stories of the time. The discovery of abandoned intergalactic naval reserve arm bases in 33
Fuel scooping.
Year 3 did much to dispel the fog, however. The INRA, a joint federal imperial initiative established in 3193,
Fuel scooping complete.
was responsible for researching the Thyroids and developing technologies to counter their aggression. But the organization's lack of accountability meant that the details of its research did not come to light
Frameshift drive charging.
until years after its dissolution. Almost all of the reliable data concerning the Thyroids has been sourced from INRA facilities. This data, originally deemed highly confidential, was declassified.
4, 3, 2, 1.
In 3304, following a resolution from the federal government and an imperial decree. Some controversy over the backing and funding of the INRA remains, however. The Thyroids Society. The INRA discovered that Thyroid Society
Fuel scooping.
is organized into hives, with most Thyroids falling into three categories: queens, princesses, and drones. Queen
Fuel scooping complete.
function as reproducers, while drones serve to maintain a favorable environment for the rest of the hive. Thyroid hives can be vast, although it may be that some of the larger observed groups are in fact multiple overlapping hives. Ultimately, little is known for sure. The average Thyroid queen is at least as intelligent as a human being, while the typical drone possesses a more rudimentary level of intelligence. Existing evidence suggests that queens have extremely long lifespans, living for hundreds or even thousands of years. The variable size of queens' neurocraniums suggests this might be an indicator of age. Little is known about the precise nature of Thyroid reproduction, but it is likely that queens can reproduce both sexually, with other queens, and asexually. It is thought that the latter method produces drones, while the former produces a new queen. Analysis of Thyroid specimens led some INRA researchers to believe that a new queen, or princess, becomes a full queen only once it has produced drones of its own. Significantly, queens are believed to be single-sex. The Thyroid's ability to reproduce asexually means that their populations can expand incredibly quickly, but it is thought that they deliberately restrict the size of the populace so as to not to deplete all available resources. There is evidence to suggest that this is sometimes achieved by culling older drones.
Frameshift drive charging.
INRA testing indicated the queens perceive drones as entirely expendable, presumably due to the ease with which they can be replaced. Indeed, a Thyroid queen appears to give no more thought to the loss of a drone than
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
human would an eyelash. The Thyroids. Communication. The belief that Thyroids were capable of some form of extrasensory communication was often cited in the early years of human-Thyroid interaction. But prior to the discovery of
Fuel scooping.
records, it was not fully understood. Professor Yuri Anslow of the INRA theorized that a Thyroid queen can communicate with the drones in its hive
Fuel scooping complete.
via a spread-spectrum electronic signal, and can use this signal to control the drones, and even to share their sensory input. Studies of battlefield footage certainly suggest some kind of near-instantaneous communication among Thyroids, and the presence of low-level radio noise in areas occupied by Thyroids indicates that they do indeed communicate via short-range electronic signals. Professor Anslow went on to claim that a queen could effectively see and hear through its drones, but her contemporaries were skeptical, dismissing the assertion as baseless. Professor Ishmael Palin, one of the galaxy's foremost experts on the Thyroids, has even gone so far as to denounce Anslow as a glory hound. Thyroids have been known to make staccato clicking noises with their mouthparts when in the presence of humans, punctuated with occasional hisses and buzzes. They've also been observed directing such noises at one another, albeit much less frequently. Professor Albert Tesra, a founding member of the Joint Superpower Initiative, AEGIS, and a specialist in interspecies communication, has studied INRA audio logs and suggested that the sounds probably represent some kind of language due to the repetition of certain sound combinations. It is unclear why the Thyroids would sometimes choose to communicate with each other vocally, given their capacity for extrasensory communication. Professor Anslow suggested that the sounds could be designed to intimidate enemies or opponents, noting that Thyroids often produce them prior to combat. Thyroid ships have been observed emitting a complex array of sounds, and in some cases subtly changing color. The exact meaning of these behaviors has not been determined,
Frameshift drive charging.
but they appear to correspond to different emotional states. What is not known is if these sounds are produced by the pilot and amplified by the ship, or emitted by the ship itself. If the sounds originate,
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
maybe the pilot would suggest some kind of physiological connection between pilot and vessel. Given the sophistication of Thargoid bioengineering, however, it is possible that the sounds come from the ship itself, and Thargoid ships are able to feel and communicate to a limited degree. The hulls of Thargoid ships are typically emblazoned with one of several symbols, the meaning of which is unknown. Some have theorized that they could denote membership of a particular familiar
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
group, or possibly
Frameshift drive supercharged.
be an indicator of rank. The Thargoids. Physiology. Human understanding of Thargoid physiology is far from complete, but recovered INRA data has offered some insight
System scan complete.
into their nature. INRA records describe the average Thargoid as physically larger than a human being, and generally insectoid in appearance. Thargoid biology is carbon-based, using an RNA-like encoding for biological information, but Thargoid chemistry is based on ammonia rather than water. Consequently, while Thargoids can comfortably tolerate environments as cold as -80 degrees Celsius, they cannot withstand environments warmer than 45 degrees Celsius for long. According to notes compiled by Dr. Peregrine Hennig, an INRA researcher, Thargoids can survive for a significant time in the vacuum of space without apparent discomfort and can tolerate radiation
Frameshift drive charging.
and extreme cold for far longer than a human. The Thargoids Vulnerabilities. In 3151, the INRA developed a biological weapon
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
known as the mycoid virus for use against the Thargoids. The virus was the result of an accidental discovery made by an INRA researcher who noted that a particular strain of fungus was found to thrive on the hulls of Thargoid vessels and appeared to be digesting the material of which the ship was made. The INRA refined the fungal strain and began experimenting on living Thargoids in their spacecraft. The mycoid proved to have deleterious effects on both,
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
leading to the swift elimination
Frameshift drive supercharged.
of the Thargoids active in human-occupied space at the time. It is widely assumed that since the last human-Thargoid conflict, the Thargoids have developed an immunity to the mycoid virus. The Thargoids. Starships. In terms of structure and function, Thargoid vessels are radically different from anything produced by humanity and are able to navigate hyperspace in ways that are not fully understood. They are also at least partly organic, meaning that they can self-repair or heal over time. Ship
Frameshift drive charging.
function in general, and this restorative ability in particular, have been shown to be dependent upon the so-called Thargoid heart, a biomechanical organ found in varying quantities in different Thargoid ships.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
These hearts often survive the destruction of the ship, enabling them to be salvaged, although they can also be targeted and damaged with appropriate weaponry. They are highly corrosive, however, and require special containers for safe transport. Thargoid vessels that have sustained combat damage
System scan complete.
exhibit scar-like patterns. Given that Thargoid technology is sophisticated enough for such damage to be repaired, it follows that the Thargoids
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
might deliberately
Frameshift drive supercharged.
choose to preserve these scars. INRA logs document an encounter with a Thargoid mothership many times larger than other Thargoid craft, against which the mycoid virus was successfully deployed, although no such vessels have been reported in recent times. The Thargoids. Structures. Dozens of planets in human-occupied space are peppered with Thargoid barnacles, biological resource extractors that convert minerals into meta-alloys, a key component in the creation of Thargoid vehicles and technology. Theories that these barnacles have been genetically engineered by the Thargoids have yet to be verified. Larger structures, referred to as Thargoid surface, have also been discovered. These sites typically consist of a spiral-shaped structure, nestling within a shallow crater. beneath which lies a series of tunnels. At the heart of this subsurface network is a device that, once activated, emits a holographic star map. The sites are patrolled by semi-sentient biomechanical entities called scavengers. The Thyroids, War with the Guardians. Archaeological records have revealed that the extinct, non-human civilization known as the Guardians experienced conflict with the Thyroids many thousands of years ago. Logs recovered from Guardian sites indicate that the Thyroids were the aggressor in this conflict, having seeded Guardian space with biomechanical constructs used for resource extraction long before the emergence of the Guardian civilization. The Thyroids apparently believed they were entitled to uncontested dominion of the territory. The Guardians attempted to communicate with the Thyroids and reach a compromise, but without success. Over the course of the
frameshift drive charging.
conflict, the Guardians developed new technologies to give them an advantage against the Thyroids. These technologies were apparently successful, forcing the Thyroids to abandon their offensive.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
The Thyroids. Agenda. Thyroids do not attack indiscriminately, and their choice of target shows them to be highly intelligent. They have also conducted targeted strikes on Aegis facilities and attacked pilots carrying Thyroid items in their cargo holds, indicating that they know they are being studied and want to halt the process. But despite their evident intelligence, they appear to be completely uninterested in meaningful communication.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
The engineer Ramtar, who has extensively researched
Frameshift drive supercharged.
Guardians and their war with the Thyroids, holds the view that Thyroid aggression is a product of territorialism. They seed an area with barnacles, thus laying claim to it, and return, sometimes many centuries later, to harvest the extracted resources. Any life form advanced enough to compete with them for the territory is treated as an enemy and summarily attacked. Professor Palin concurs with this view, adding that the Thyroids are apparently so determined to eliminate any threats to their
System scan complete.
long-term survival, they will not tolerate any advanced species in close proximity. The Thyroids.
Frameshift drive charging.
Human-Thyroid contact. The Thyroids are a non-human race with a history of hostility towards humanity. The first recorded encounter with a Thyroid ship took place in
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
T849, although earlier undocumented encounters are believed to have taken place. In the years that followed, contact with lone Thyroid vessels was intermittently reported. Humanity clashed with the Thyroids in the 32nd century, but details of the conflict remained scarce for many years.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
And it proved difficult
Frameshift drive supercharged.
to differentiate authentic accounts of Thyroid encounters from the sensationalist media stories of the time. The discovery of abandoned intergalactic Naval Reserve arm bases in 3303 did much to dispel the fog, however. The INRA, a joint federal imperial initiative established in 3193,
drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. System scan complete. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Corporations. The grandest society of merchants
Frameshift drive charging.
in the universe. Self-applied description of the East India Company, 1600 to 1708. Corporations. Introduction.
4, 3, 2, 1.
During the centuries in which humanity was confined to a single planet, corporations were naturally limited in size and influence, like fish in a bowl, with access to a finite quantity of natural resources and a relatively small arena in which to compete. Corporations cannot achieve their full
Fuel scooping.
theoretical potential. But with the advent of interstellar travel, the fishbowl became an ocean. Corporations could access and
Fuel scooping complete.
exploit entire planets for their mineral resources, and an expanding population, eagerly colonizing system after system, meant a growing customer base. To the governments of the time, the potential for corporate growth was both thrilling and terrifying. Commercial prosperity meant increased tax revenue and higher employment figures, but also raised the worrying prospect of security fleets that could rival the official militaries. It seemed inevitable that the largest corporations would, in time, become the equivalent of nation-states in their own right. With the old restrictions gone, there was simply nothing to stop them. Today, this vision has been partly fulfilled, with several corporations owning entire systems. For many corporate employees, the age-old distinction between a home and a workplace has vanished. Workers on corporate-owned ships, refineries, and outposts can expect to spend their entire lives in the embrace of the company.
Frameshift drive charging.
Despite their immense wealth and power, the corporations have thus far been content to operate within and remain subject to the jurisdictions of the Alliance, Empire, and Federation.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Other than mount a serious challenge to any of them. Commentators point to two reasons for this. Firstly, corporations thrive by excelling in their chosen fields, and assuming the onerous responsibilities of a government would be a wasteful distraction from the corporate mission.
Fuel scooping. System scan
Given that
complete.
the corporations already hold much of the real power, especially in the Federation, there is nothing to be gained by abolishing the convenient veneer of the
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive
Better to
charging.
operate below the surface, make a show of compliance, and trust in the power of money to smooth the way forward. Corporations.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The Achilles Corporation. Optimize, iterate, refine. Achilles is the market leader in computer technology and is particularly noted for developing the reliable, efficient navigation computers used by most starships. The fear of a
Fuel scooping.
hyperspace misjump following
System scan complete.
to malfunction, a nightmare scenario that Achilles capitalized on in its
Fuel
advertising,
scooping complete.
helped to cultivate strong brand loyalty in the company's
Frameshift drive charging.
early days. Achilles is also a pioneer in the field of robotics, meaning it has long been hampered by the interstellar ban on the development of self-aware artificial intelligence.
4, 3, 2, 1.
In the late 3200s, rumors surfaced that the corporation was attempting to circumvent these restrictions by placing organically grown brains in robotic bodies. No evidence of any such activity has come to light, and Achilles board members have not deigned to dignify the rumors with a response.
Fuel scooping.
There has also been speculation the company's leaders are extensively cybernetically enhanced, given their history of uncompromising takeovers and corporate
Fuel
machinations.
scooping complete.
Even their open business operations are characterized by ruthless efficiency, while their private dealings are rumored to involve everything from the blackmail of rival executives to assassination. Achilles' official line is that these rumors are sheer fantasy and a predictable, envious response to success. Nonetheless, the rumors persist, and Achilles' reputation is now so daunting that smaller corporations will roll over at the first sign of a takeover bid, rather than attempt to negotiate for better terms. Nobody wants to become the subject of a career-ending rumor. Corporations. K. Massey. Because an honest day's work never goes out of fashion. K. Massey stands as an example of the power of rebranding. During the fiercely competitive era that followed the first migration from Earth, the company's original incarnation, Howlett, Kane and Calvert, rapidly established itself as a profitable mining concern. Through a combination of nepotism and bribery, HC&C secured a federal guarantee of mining rights across several systems, with the caveat that failure to exploit the resources within a set time frame would result in forfeiture. In order to set up their mining operations as quickly as possible, HC&C cut corners on safety, skimped on equipment quality, and made exorbitant promises to potential employees. Promises that were later defaulted on. Workplace accidents, which were frequent, were hushed up. By the time these problems came to light, HC&C was a household name, and the fallout was severe. Token attempts at recompense were made, but the company's public image was badly tarnished. A merger with struggling but respected logistics firm Massey Haulage gave HC&C an opportunity to reinvent itself as the local mining company. The rebranded corporation, K. Massey, presented itself as a salt-of-the-earth, blue-collar operation, whose hard-working employees were treated with dignity. In an uncertain universe, so the advertisements ran, K. Massey would always be there for you.
System scan complete.
The campaign was a huge success. Today, K. Massey is now widely perceived as an old-fashioned company that both understands and sticks up for the working man and woman.
Frameshift drive charging.
But despite this wholesome image, and although safety standards have improved, the company is as acquisitive and concerned with expansion as ever.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Corporations, core dynamics. Unmatched interstellar supremacy. Core Dynamics is a giant conglomerate, best known as one of the galaxy's premier manufacturers of weapon and surveillance systems and starships, with a particular focus on combat vessels. Its product line ranges from
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
a diminutive Eagle to the gargantuan Farragut-class battlecruiser, and also includes the most popular skimmer.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Galaxy,
Frameshift drive supercharged.
the S4 Century. The company is known for its occasional discount events, offering reduced-cost ships either in celebration of a new design or as incentives for participation in a community endeavor. Core Dynamics has a long-standing supply agreement with the Federation and is responsible for the Federal Assault Ship, Corvette, Dropship, and Gunship. As part of this relationship, the company benefits from privileged access to federal black box data reserves, which it uses in its research and development branch. In the ongoing quest for more robust and effective ship designs, there is no substitute for data gleaned from genuine combat encounters. Corporations. Falcon de Lacy. Bridging the stars for half a millennium. Falcon Manspace, originally a small military supply company, experienced an overnight reversal of fortune when it released the Viper fighter, which proved popular with governments and private citizens alike. Indeed, demand was so high that Falcon Manspace had to farm out Viper production to other companies under license. With wealth came innovation and a range of new designs.
Frameshift drive charging.
Like the Viper, these new ships were named after dangerous snakes. The Cobra marked the company's entry into the trader market, while the lightweight, versatile Sidewinder was
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
High principally as a reconnaissance craft. As the company's wealth grew, it began to absorb many of the companies to which it had previously granted manufacturing contracts. In almost all cases, the target company's close working relationship with Falcon Manspace made such acquisitions frictionless and mutually beneficial. In 2982, the corporation merged with one of the largest such manufacturers, DeLacy Shipworks, becoming Falcon DeLacy.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
The company
Frameshift drive supercharged.
pioneered the now standard modular system of ship design that allows pilots to swap out components with ease. Significantly, the company made the schematics for the modular system freely available to its manufacturing rivals, broadening the choice of compatible modules available to pilots, and thus making the Falcon DeLacy marks more popular. Without this philosophy of component compatibility, spacecraft maintenance might have become a nightmarish scenario in which being unable to get the proper parts could leave a broken-down ship stranded.
System scan complete. Frameshift
Dried up for
drive
weeks,
charging.
or worse, subject to botched repair attempts. Today, Falcon DeLacy stands out as one of the most enduring, widespread, and consistently admired corporations in colonized space.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Public regard for the company is so high that the Alliance, Empire, and Federation have all made attempts to secure exclusivity to Falcon DeLacy starships. Thus far, their efforts have been unsuccessful. Corporations, Gutermeyer.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Effortless elegance.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift
Ship
drive
manufacturer
supercharged.
Gutermeyer enjoys a supply agreement with the Empire, similar to that between Core Dynamics and the Federation. Gutermeyer is a far younger company, however, and was in fact created by the Empire. The company's ships are considered to embody imperial opulence and are instantly recognizable for their sleek contours and distinctive silhouettes. Imperial Gutermeyer was chartered by Emperor Galen Trascan de Val in 3000 as part of a formal celebration of the millennium, in line with the Emperor's vision of an imperial renaissance in art, design, and architecture. The company's remit, overseen by shipwrights Jordan Blakestow and sculptor Amita Gutermeyer, was to produce a line of ships that will combine functional excellence with a distinct visual style. These would be offered for a limited period to select members of imperial noble houses as a mark of the Emperor's favor. Amita Gutermeyer's involvement was immediately apparent, her reputation having been established through well-regarded public artworks incorporating graceful, contoured forms. This helped to drive public demand for the ships, which became sought-after status symbols. Demand was so high that owners were forced to hire squadrons of mercenary
Frameshift drive charging.
escorts to prevent hijack. The Emperor promptly ordered Imperial Gutermeyer to go into full-time production and to make part of its range available for general purchase. From its inception,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Gutermeyer has employed a coterie of accomplished Imperial artisans to ensure that their ships continue to reflect Amita Gutermeyer's aesthetic principles. When, in 3006, Amita Gutermeyer died in unexplained circumstances, she was interred in the Gutermeyer family crypt on Achenar 6B.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Corporations, Lakon Space.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Hard-working ships for hard-working people. Lakon Spaceways is a starship manufacturer specializing in sturdy vessels for cargo haulage and deep space exploration. They have a longer pedigree than most other ship manufacturers, their first dedicated transport vessel having been built on
Frameshift drive charging.
Earth in the 26th century. The company's early models were characterized by the fact that they could be easily repaired away from port, a quality that has been retained to this day, despite the prevalence of affordable.
4, 3, 2, 1.
services. In 3303, Lakon entered into partnership with the Alliance to produce a range of military ships in response to the emerging Thargoid threat. As of 3304, this partnership has produced the Type 10 Defender, the Alliance Chieftain, the Alliance Crusader, and the Alliance Challenger. Lakon vessels tend to garner both praise and derision for their unpretentious, functional design, which is informed more by practical concerns than aesthetic considerations. Those who champion the chunky look of Lakon craft typically say that they prefer their ships to look like ships, not abstract sculptures. Corporations. Mistopoulos Mining. 300 years of reliability. In 2951, an imperial senator named Gia Mistopoulos helped an imperial group wrest control of a key set of mining rights from a federally backed partnership. Mistopoulos later took direct control of the mining operations.
Fuel skipping.
Under his and his daughter Nia's guidance, the company rapidly expanded. The Mistopoulos family was already held in great esteem for its patronage of the arts.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
And loyalty to the Empire, and many Imperials were more than happy to do business with them. Accordingly, it was within the Empire that Mistopoulos gained the most ground, though the company also established operations in several independent systems. Much like the Empire itself, Mistopoulos has been under the control of a single dynasty for centuries. Rather than adopt conventional marketing strategy, it has opted to focus its corporate spotlight on the individuals in charge, thus capitalizing on the imperial cultural regard for people of taste and status. The Mistopoulos family are trained from birth to play the part of charismatic aristocrats to the full, acting as ambassadors not only for the company, but for the Empire. In particular, they seek to demonstrate the viability and humanity of the imperial way of life as a direct ideological challenge to the Federation. The company's current head, Gabriela Mistopoulos, has gone out of her way to ensure that any slaves working for the company are exceptionally well treated. She also earned plaudits for a prisoner reform program that offered imperial prisoners at Jennings Hollow the chance to become corporate slaves, and to earn a generous performance-related bonus. But despite the popularity of this gambit, Federal and Alliance citizens were quick to point out that a slave is still a slave, regardless of the generosity of the owner. Corporations. Saud Kruger. The finest for the best. To independent pilots, Saud Kruger is best known for luxurious passenger liners, such as the Beluga, Dolphin, and Orca, although the company also runs a tourism branch under the Astrogator brand. Saud Kruger started life as a yacht manufacturer
Orbital flight engaged.
in Bedaho, although the narrowness of the market curtailed the company's growth. When company director Stanislav Kruger purchased the struggling Astrogator touring company in 3270, he gave Saud Kruger a foothold in multiple star systems. Kruger then refurbished the Astrogator fleet and revamped the somewhat stale tour itinerary to give it a more adventurous, thrill-seeking flavor, which proved highly successful. Goldskin Leather, sourced exclusively from the planet home in the Bedaho system, has been used in the interiors of Saud Kruger ships for years and is part of the company's distinctive aesthetic. Saud Kruger has the exclusive right to produce real goldskin, which comes embedded with coded nanoparticles that act as guarantors of authenticity. Saud Kruger also competes in the field of interstellar math and deep space exploration, and likes to emphasize the danger and glamour of exploring. The company's critics claim this approach risks transforming the vitally important field of space exploration into a pastime for the idle rich, thus alienating the many freelancers on whose hard work.
DeLacy, Mike Uniform Delta, please submit a standard docking request before attempting to land. Access granted. Proceed to Bay 05.
Corporations.
Landing gear deployed.
Sirius Corporation. Powering the galaxy. all the mega corporations to dominate civilized space, none compare to the wealth and influence of the Sirius Corporation. The rise of the Sirius Corporation began in 2339, when the organization
Descend to flight level 200.
launched a corporate colonization mission, the first of its kind, to the Sirius system. From there, the corporation went on to become the lead supplier of fuel and technologies.
Ship is on the ground. Perform landing checklist. We're pleased to have you, Commander.
To both the Empire and the Federation, catapulting it to powerhouse status. The corporation's promise not to favor either side in the event of conflict helped to cement its position. As the corporation grew, fuel supply and drive manufacture remained its core business, although judicious expansion into other markets supported its expansion. But the corporation's ascendance has not been without complication. In 3251, it introduced a technologically revolutionary passenger liner called the Antares, which it hoped would usher in a new age in interplanetary travel. Unfortunately, however, the ship disappeared during its maiden voyage. It was speculated that a failure in the ship's internal containment systems had destroyed the vessel, but it was not until 3302 that wreckage from the ship was recovered, and this hypothesis proved correct. The Antares incident cast a long shadow, stalling the Sirius Corporation's plans to develop further superfast liners. But 3278 saw a reversal of fortune with the introduction of a new, faster drive system. The success of this new system more than made up for the losses that followed the Antares incident, propelling the organization to new heights. Today, the corporation has multiple divisions, many of them giant conglomerates themselves. But its primary focus remains the manufacture of fusion reactors, hyperdrives, and hyperdrive fuels. This division still operates under the banner of the Sirius Corporation, although technically it is conducted by Sirius Hyperdrives, with the parent corporation acting as a holding company. The company's mining, industrial, and power divisions are probably its largest. Sirius Mining works closely with Sirius Industrial to produce specialist equipment for both planetary and asteroid mining, in addition to industrial smelters and refineries, atmospheric processing units, and waste processing reactors. Sirius Power produces generators ranging from 10 kilowatt devices to 100 gigawatt plants for industrial facilities and atmospheric processors. The Sirius Corporation maintains a large private fleet with which to defend its interests. The majority of its ships are supplied by Gutamaya, although a proportion are manufactured under license in Sirius's own shipyards. The corporation controls dozens of star systems and has even created a governmental subdivision, Sirius Gov, dedicated to managing these systems. Indeed, it has been observed that the people of these systems enjoy better quality of life and greater personal security, courtesy of Sirius's private fleet, than many independent systems. Corporations. The Rockforth Corporation. Living naturally. The Rockforth Corporation was founded in 2673 by the Rockforth family on Thompson's World, an unusually beautiful planet similar in almost all respects to Earth. Thompson's World began as a federal colony, but by 2748, Rockforth controlled so much of the planet that it was able to claim outright ownership and secede from the Federation. In its early years, the Rockforth Corporation earned significant revenue from tourism and genuine, ground-grown food. The former facilitated by the rise of affordable interstellar travel. Today, it is a powerful interstellar corporation specializing in agriculture and tourism, with hundreds of corporate farms throughout federal space. It has also a reputation for being acquisitive, having bought up many of its client companies, beginning with a friendly takeover of the law firm Smith & Smith, now known as Rockforth Law. In 2730, Rockforth Law established the Rockforth Legal Academy on Thompson's World, now considered one of the best places in the galaxy to study federal law. Rockforth has always been eager to work with governing powers, both federal and independent. and has occasionally loaned out its private fleet to help repel external threats. The company has even sponsored election campaigns, including that of the infamously corrupt federal president, Isaac Gellin, in 2862. Rather than being tarnished by its association with Gellin, however, the company's reputation was enhanced, since it was Rockforth itself that exposed the president's corruption. Corporations. Universal Cartographics. Because it's there. Before the frameshift drive was developed, the exploration of space lacked a single coordinating agency. Governments and corporations had in-house exploration programs, but these were driven by the desire for fresh, exploitable territory rather than any humanitarian motive. It was not unknown for these programs to enlist the help of freelance explorers, but as a class, these were seen as erratic and unreliable. The reputation of the freelance explorer was not helped by a rash of bogus data scandals, in which a pilot would present, and be paid for, impressive scan data from hitherto unexplored systems that was later discovered to be counterfeit. The remoteness of the systems meant that the deception was not discovered until much later. Much like the sea captains of old Earth, whose rutters were full of closely guarded secrets, the owners of authentic navigation data were reluctant to share it. Theft of such data was a particularly prevalent concern in the late 2900s, when mistrust between the Empire and the Federation was at its most intense. Officials on both sides would occasionally propose a shared databank as a means of bridging the divide, but mutual suspicion killed the idea before it could be implemented. The creation of the frameshift drive greatly increased the jump capability of even small ships, empowering individuals to become bona fide space explorers without the need for corporate or governmental sponsorship. The stage was set for a corporation to manage, coordinate, and distribute the incoming flood of navigation data. Universal Cartographics filled that niche, arising from the merger of Unified Infotech and Devane Bright Interstellar. Cynthia Sedaris, former head of Unified Infotech, chose the name Universal Cartographics to reflect the company's policy of making its data accessible to anyone who was willing to pay for it. Sophisticated security protocols developed at Unified Infotech ensured that all data sold to Universal Cartographics was sourced through legitimate scanning. This combination of reliability and accessibility made Universal Cartographics an instant success. The company's ethos, which prized discovery for its own sake and championed the advancement of human knowledge, resonated with many independent explorers and continues to do so to this day. Corporations. Recon, an industry built to last. Recon Construction and Mining is one of the oldest interstellar corporations. It was founded over 1,000 years ago, but still bears the name of its founder, Tobias Recon, who was a coal miner on Earth in the days prior to full automation. Raised on stories of horrific mining disasters, Recon ran his extraction business with safety and prudence as top priorities. The corporate motto at the time ran, "Losses can be recouped and equipment can be repaired. Lives are irreplaceable." Generations later, this attitude of diligence over profiteering still ran strong in the company. It made Recon a compelling choice when corporations were looking to exploit the new opportunities presented by early deep space exploration. Extracting resources from asteroids, airless moons, and hazardous planets was an even more dangerous prospect than coal mining, and Recon's expertise did much to calm corporate nerves. Consequently, the company had a presence on almost all of the early federal chartered colony missions. Today, Recon specializes in the extraction of tantalum, a vital component in frameshift drives. The company is firmly established in alliance, federation, and independent territories, while its direct rival, Mastopoulos Mining, dominates in imperial space. Tensions between the two corporations have been high, since Recon accused Mastopoulos of covertly seeding key planets with tiny, promising tantalum deposits, in the expectation that Recon's thoroughgoing approach would prompt a full survey, thus tying up valuable resources. Mastopoulos has not offered an official response to assertions, though at a formal dinner in 3303, Eleanor Mostopoulos made a pointed reference to the etymological link between tantalus and tantalize, adding that it was not illegal to leave gifts on a neighbour's doorstep. Corporations. Worldcraft. Optimizing recreation. Based in the Epsilon Eridani system, Worldcraft has been the Federation's favourite tourism company for more than 300 years. The company began life as the Cisco Corporation, with tourist resources throughout human-occupied space. In the early part of the 33rd century, it dramatically increased the scope of its operation and began terraforming planets to create dedicated resort worlds, an operation facilitated through the use of Free World Ventures Worldcraft atmospheric processing units. Eager to exclude competitors from the market, Cisco bought Free World Ventures in 3260 via a leveraged buyout, doubling the size of the corporation overnight. At the time, Cisco was associated with the seedier end of the holiday market, which had prevented the company from successfully entering imperial space. Capitalizing on the acquisition of Free World Ventures and the respect afforded to the Worldcraft brand, the company shrewdly rebranded itself Worldcraft with a capital C, in the hope of establishing a presence in imperial space. Worldcraft offers experiences ranging from excursions into unspoilt natural environments where families can admire dazzling views from the safety of a rented luxury vessel to painstakingly detailed reconstructions of periods of Earth history, such as the Victorian London theme park and the swords and swigging medieval reenactment experience. Corporations. The grandest society of merchants in the universe. Self-applied description of the East India Company, 1600 to 1708. Corporations.
Landing gear deployed. Gravity warning. Handbrake is on. Cargo scoop deployed. Handbrake is on. Cargo scoop deployed. Handbrake is on. Handbrake is on. Scoop deployed. Handbrake is on. Handbrake is on. Cargo scoop retracted. Cargo scoop deployed. Handbrake is on. Handbrake is on. Cargo scoop retracted. Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted. Handbrake is on. Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted. scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted. Ship recalled. Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. charging. Operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Module repaired. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. complete. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Flight assist off. Module repaired. Flight assist on. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, operating beyond safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Temperature critical. Heat sink deployed. Frameshift drive charging. reached. Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Landing gear deployed.
contact. Dispatching ground crew.
Incoming message.
Request approved. Cleared for landing on docking bay 4-1.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing successful. Docking be tolerated.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Fuel scoop disengaged. Cannot comply. Frameshift drive charging. Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.